How you guys doing? This is Argustic Dunbar, the hybrid entrepreneur, coming to you with the interview for our free Enterprise Fridays. And today I'm with my guy Veal. Jay, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good, man.
Awesome, awesome.
Good. Yeah.
So as you guys know, I like to do these interviews in order to highlight one successful entrepreneur and how they went from building a part-time business, right, to making it their full-time income and crushing their goals and ultimately creating a lifestyle that they enjoy and winning for their family. So Jay, I'm glad you came out today to do the interview. I know you gotta go, so we're gonna make sure we get through this. But cool. I would like for you to kind of just introduce yourself to the people, right? Tell them a little bit about your background. I guess first let's start with some of your successes. So like, why should they listen to Jay?
All right, so basically, my name is Jay Veal. I'm CEO of Tutoring, as you can see on my shirt. We are a private prescriptive tutoring firm based here in the DFW area, servicing students from first grade to doctorate level and on STEM subjects, test preps, English, reading, writing, and foreign languages. We're a millennial-based team, so you'll see most of us are related to the students of today. And we're coming from different backgrounds. Like, so people are in education, people are in as IT consultants, engineers, medical school students, and things like that. So we're able to relate to the students that come to us and get the content to them the way that they need to get it to them, right? I'm not initially from here, born and partly raised northeast of Los Angeles, in San Bernardino. So for those that are Cali oriented, the 760, that's where I came from. That's where I was raised and born, partly. On the other flip side of that, I spent some time in NY as well. But I actually had a background in IT and tech. And before IT and tech, I worked at Microsoft for 3 years. I worked at telecommunications. I worked at AT&T and a whole bunch of other companies. But at some point in 2008, I decided that to listen to the email I kept getting that said, "Hey, you need to be in, go to this information session for education." I'm like, "Oh, wow, I want to be a CIO of a company, right?" Yeah. So I decided to listen to that.
So what you're saying is you never planned on like running your own company, starting your own. You want to be a CIO for another company.
I did initially, and then I decided to go with it, and I ended up liking teaching. So I went into education, straight flip from IT to education, boom.
Like you became a teacher, like at a school. Yeah. So you went from IT. Let's be real. IT, the money's here.
Yeah.
Teaching, the money's here. So you consciously made that decision to go from here.
I did. But honestly, let's be real too, y'all. If you're an educator in STEM though, you actually can make quite a bit of bread. So don't sleep on it. So I did that, and then I taught for 4.5 years in the classroom. I taught math from algebra to AP calculus in the classroom. Then I moved on to become an instructional coach, became successful, started teaching teachers how to teach for 3 years. Then I became a district level coach, working with the Department of Education in DC for STEM. And I became an adjunct professor. And then I decided at that point in transition to then do my company part-time. So I was a part-time entrepreneur for 3.5 years.
So before we go into that,
for sure.
So I do a lot of listening to Tony Robbins. I'm sure you know who Tony Robbins is, right?
Yeah.
And what I've learned from him is that typically we're lazy and we take the road of least resistance. And typically before a big decision's made, right, there's one frustrating moment. Something happened. Right, I'll tell you, at AT&T, I was working there for 2.5 years, I think, right? And they had I had this opportunity to leave, like there was a surplus, right? So I got a what do you call it? What's it called? They fire you, but
like a reduction in force, so to speak,
but they pay you the payment that they
severance.
Okay, I got that and everything. And I was scared because I wanted to leave and do my own thing, but I was scared that I wouldn't be successful, right? And so the decision, like the major thing that happened that made me just so pissed was I got criticized by my boss, right? I was riding in the car with my on the phone with my mom. She was in Vegas. And so that I had just been criticized. My mom calls me and she's like, "Hey, I'm about to be evicted and I need some money," right? And I didn't have the money to give her, and it, the pride, like that was the day I said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm out of here. I gotta leave." So I'm always curious to figure out what was that person, like what's the what happened?
Defining moment.
Yeah, you go.
I got you. So for me, my defining moment from going from where I was to where I am now was about the education system, honestly. I have a passion for education and a passion for tech as well, but the thing was there was no entity that was out there in Dallas, Fort Worth, or really nationally that was tailoring to minority students. You're sitting there in the classroom, kids are sitting there, they're learning, they're getting tutoring maybe 1 hour before school, maybe 1 hour after school, and it's not enough, right? They really need to get content like they're supposed to, and they need to be able to consume, right? So in order to consume content, you have to be there for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
But the content needs to be tailored to how you learn, right? So if you think about it, our particular organization is really based around holistic tutoring environment, right? So we're including the parents, we're including the teachers, the counselors, the students, and our consultant team members to ensure that kid is going from, or that adult learner even, is going from failing to A's and B's, or from A's and B's to content acceleration and moving them ahead. And that's basically what our organization pretty much solves right now. The goal next, like I was talking about earlier before when we were talking, was I wanted to launch a learning management system that has AI or artificial intelligence and machine learning involved, so it can tailor to students' learning styles upon login, and they can do other things with it. But in addition to that, I'm launching another brand too, called the Veal brand next month, which is going to encompass educational consulting, business consulting, a t-shirt line, which is kind of fun, cool stuff.
So before we get into the other brand and everything, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, Jay, you're a superhuman, right? Because you have all these different businesses going on. You have all the success. Do you think that anybody can become an entrepreneur? I'm not asking can anyone be like Bill Gates or Steve at that level, but do you believe that anybody can be an entrepreneur?
So, good question. I think the answer to that question is probably no. Only because, not to really say that it's not possible for everybody to become an entrepreneur, but becoming an entrepreneur is not for everybody. People say that they want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't necessarily understand what it takes and the amount of hours of input and work that it takes to be an entrepreneur and be successful. But not everybody will be qualified to be an entrepreneur because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of hard days. It's a lot of long nights for you to be an entrepreneur.
So let me change the question. If someone is able-bodied, right? They're not super intelligent. They're just a regular person. They're willing to put in the hard work. They're willing to learn. They're willing to grow. Do you think anybody like that can run their own business?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
so I think what you're saying is not that everyone can't do it. It's just most people aren't willing to put in the work.
Correct.
Okay.
That's
awesome.
what so basically everybody that's an entrepreneur, they're doing 99% of what folks are not able to do or not willing to do.
Not willing to do.
And that's why you have the cohort of entrepreneurs that you do have now, especially in Dallas or even in the United States, in Dallas.
So what you're saying is you're not superhuman.
So.
You decide that you're going to work hard, set goals, and do what others aren't willing to do.
Exactly. And that's how we became, we're the #1 African American owned tutoring company in DFW and in this part of the region right now. And I think that the reason why is because I was able to put in the hard work and be able to listen to what God told me to do, which was to deliver education to students, young and old, older, right?
Yes.
And so they can be able to accomplish their educational goals and careers and dreams.
I like it.
And that's what we do.
I like it. So can you talk to me about the past 3.5 years or so, right? Where you're clocking in at 9, you're clocking out at 5, but then you're spending time outside of that still building your business. Can you tell me a little bit what that was like, and then maybe share a time where you had to change your thinking, or you had to do something that you otherwise wouldn't have done in order to make your company become successful?
Okay, so basically working a 9 to 5, or actually I guess I could say 8 to 5:36, whatever it may be. And education is a unique space when you're working in STEM, right? So you're not necessarily in the classroom, right? But in my role, I was managing a team of educators. So for me, I was in a leadership position in administration building. So it's a little bit different in terms of how we operate. And I was able to manage being in education and having an education company at the same time without it being a conflict of interest, right? So going to the job, leaving the job and being able to tutor clientele after the fact and then run operations and things of that nature was something I just was able to do, right? I would come home probably about 7 o'clock, 7:30, and then do my thing, and then around 8 or 9 o'clock I kind of just do my thing for my company and make things happen. But I can tell you that there was a time that I thought that I could just do everything. You don't want to do that. As an entrepreneur, I can tell you right now, you'll go to that stage where you don't trust anybody else to do stuff for you, so you want to do it all, right? You want to do payroll, you want to do marketing, you want to do advertising, you want to do biz dev, you want to do.
So what's the problem if you're doing everything yourself? What's the problem with that?
So if you try to do everything yourself, you end up getting burnt out. You really end up wasting a lot of time and productivity, which you don't want to do, right? You're trying to be smarter, not trying to work harder in biz dev. So it's really a challenge to try and work on all that stuff by yourself.
So tell me about,
you meet somebody.
Tell me that story. So tell me about the time when you were just frustrated, you're like, you know what, this doing it myself thing ain't working no more. Tell me about that.
Man, so like, I mean, there was a time, I want to say it was even maybe 2 years ago, and I was sitting there at my desk and I was like,
what had happened? What was the
these
story?
emails though, right? The email struggle is real. The email struggle. So, you know, going through all these emails and then you saying, oh, well, I gotta check on these people. I gotta check on these partnerships. I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And I sat there and I was like, Jay, there is no way that you can handle this by yourself. No more, bruh. You gotta hire some team members or something to help you out with this. So, quite frankly, my mom actually helped me out with my organization. Her name is Gloria, and she actually has been in IT and tech for several years. And she helps me out as my chief communications officer in my organization. So a lot of props and shout out goes to her, because if I did not have her to be able to help me and guide me and back me up, my second in command, I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. I'd be crazy right now.
What I'm hearing right now is, one, as an entrepreneur, what's important, right?
Yep.
And I'm doing this so the listeners can take notes. One, what I hear is important is leverage, using other people's time, not trying to do everything yourself.
Right.
And then two, I heard you say several times, you said you're listening to other people, and you said you as your mom, right? So you're having someone mentor you and help you grow throughout the process.
Right.
So not only just leveraging other people's time, but leveraging their knowledge as well, right?
Right. Absolutely. I do think that it's important too that if you're in business for yourself, for you to find somebody that can be a mentor. And I always bring this story up to people, particularly myself. I didn't have anybody to go to for mentorship in my space. Whenever I looked at venture capitalists or other investors or other people in general that said, hey, can you help me in the education space? They were like, well, I don't really know that space well. They know tech, they know HR, whatever the case may be, but not everybody understands a tutoring company. So I've been doing this the whole time with no real technical, quote unquote, mentor. People came to me and said, hey Jay, how did you start your tutoring company?
So you're kind of like still figuring out as you go, but giving people the advice on how you did what you did.
Exactly. And people were calling me from New York and LA and Miami and saying, hey Jay, we've seen you on social media and we want to start a tutoring company too. And it's minorities that wanted to reach out that had nobody else to go to. So I ended up being that person of knowledge and it's strong enough to say, hey, I want to bring people with me. And I don't look at people, it could be healthy competition, but I don't look at people as just competition. I look at people as, hey, I have a skill set that I can teach you, and I'm able to spread that knowledge, because you're not going to be me, I'm not going to be you, right? So I'm not scared to help you. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to, you don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to helping someone, giving their information. You're not afraid of competition, right? Because competition as an entrepreneur is healthy. It keeps you iron sharpens iron, okay?
It's not about you overtaking me. I'm not scared of the next man. There's enough money out there for everybody to be successful. You don't have to worry about all that, you know what I'm saying? But at this day and age, I just think that it's important for you to really follow what you love to do. And if you can make an income from it, you do that, right?
Yes.
And then you are able to help others and coach them to do great things. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very, very important for you to follow your dream and your passion.
I like it. So I know you got to go. We got to wrap this up. But I want you, like the last 2 or 3 minutes, right? I want you to look at the camera, because there's going to be probably maybe a couple hundred right now, but at some point there's going to be millions of hopeful entrepreneurs sitting on the other side looking at this interview, right? What 2 or 3 tips would you have for that audience? And think of it like this: I am a single mom, I am a husband and wife, I am an immigrant from another country, and I have a burning desire to win for my family, to start my own business. I've already got a full-time income. I don't really want to go get a 9-to-5 gig. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to run my own business, and I really want to experience the freedom of life, whether it's health, wealth, financially, whatever. What 2 or 3 tips could you give the camera?
I think the first tip is, like we talked about before, is really have self-awareness, right? Discover what you want, discover what you think you need to get that want taken care of, and then once you do that, you go out and you go get it. So that's one thing, is being self-aware, right? Going out to fulfill what you believe that you have the heart to do. And 2 is, once you have the passion and the self-awareness, right, then you go out and you say, hey, look, I have a 9 to 5, or I have, I'm married and I have a situation going on right now, and I need to understand. I need my partner to understand too what I'm doing, right? So you need to share what you're doing and your dreams and your goals, what you're doing with that particular person, and then you guys together can collaborate to figure out what needs to be done. But in essence of that, right, you need to understand how to build a schedule, right? How to leverage your time, right? Are you spending too much time in your business versus working, on your business, right? That's one thing that I can say that I struggled with even now sometimes, is really working on my business and in my business. So I had to hire an executive admin, which I did this particular week, last week. So being able to understand how to put time in different pockets of your business is another tip that I can give. And then finally, I think the last tip is, if you're gonna be an entrepreneur and you wanna fire that passion up, don't just really say you're gonna do something. Really go out there and deliver on your promise and deliver on what you said you wanted to do. Because at the end of the day, I actually did a keynote speech at University of Texas in Arlington last week, and one of the things I told the undergrads and grad students is there are plenty of people out there who there may not be even born yet, or that may be youngsters right now, right? If you don't go out and do what you're supposed to do per what God told you to do and your passion, then you're letting all those people down, right? Johnny might not have graduated from college because you didn't start that company that you were going to start, or that tutoring company, and maybe Scott didn't become an engineer because you decided not to move forward with an engineering consulting company. He saw you as an awesome African American male. He looked at you as a role model, but you decided not to do it and you gave up. So guess what? What does that tell him? Right? So go forward, pay it forward, fail fast, fail quick, but know how to stand up 10 times versus falling down 9. You have to ensure that you can be successful in your organization. And I also would say to really not give excuses. At the end of the day, you're either going to do it or you don't. It's binary. It's either a 1 or a 0. You're either going to be an entrepreneur or you're not. So make the decision. And if you do hire people, one lesson I learned is to hire, but fire quick. Because it's going to kill your company, and that cancer is going to run through your company if you don't fix it fast. So those are the kind of things that I would say that I would include in my tips for.
I like it. Well, Jay, thanks you for coming out and spending time with us. I know you literally left the gig to come here, and then came out. When you first came out, I was like, I wonder why he's not dressed a little bit better. But I understand now. Right? And I just got to go to another gig. But Jay, you are the man. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Sure. We'll have to do it again. Oh, before you get out of here.
Contact, right?
Yes. Where can the people find you?
So hey guys, you can contact me at Ink Tutoring on any platform, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, or Snapchat as well. My new brand coming out called the J Veal brand. Watch out for that. It'll be at the J Veal brand on any of the platforms as well. And you can find me basically on any one of those particular platforms.
Okay, awesome. Well, this has been another interview. Argustic Dunbar, the hybrid entrepreneur, J Veal, the Ink Tutoring. Till next time, signing off. See you guys.
All right.